Namaste students, welcome to the social science class. Today we will be studying the next part, that is geography, chapter 8, industries of Karnataka. In this chapter, children, we will be studying about the importance of the industries of Karnataka, the major industrial regions of Karnataka, the distribution and production of iron and steel industries, cotton, textile, sugar, cement and paper industries. And we'll also study about the Bengaluru, India's main information technology industrial centers. See, this is the industrial map of Karnataka where we are having the sugar industries in we can see we are having it in Davangere, we are having it in Mandya and in Mysuru. Then when we move on to the cotton industries, we are having it in Belgaum, Bagalkote, and we are also having it in Gulbarga. Then we are having it in Bellary, Davangere, and also in Bengaluru urban. In all these areas, we are having, and we can see even in Chamrajnagar, even in Mysuru, we are having the cotton industries. When we move on to the paper industries, children, we are having it in Uttara Kannada, and we also see that we are having it in Shumagga, we have it in Tumkuru, the paper industries, then we are having in Bengaluru urban. In all these places, we are having the paper industries. We are also having the iron and steel industries. Iron and steel industries, we can also see that we are having it in Bhadravati, isn't it? We are having it in uh, Bhadravati, and also we are having the cement industries. When we move on to the cement industries, we are having it in Tumkuru, and even in the Bagalkot, we are having the cement industries. Even in Gulbarga also we are having the cement industries. Now let us go on to the about the study about the industries. The children, the industries growth plays a very important role in the development of any state in the country. Our state has this great opportunity. The presence of the abundant resources, mineral resources, raw materials, ideal climate, sufficient water, good transport, skilled laborers, wide market, and modern technology. So, Karnataka is famous for a variety of industries. The industries range from agricultural based small scale industries to modern large scale industries. So the production, now we had to know when I tell manufacturing of this one, we had to know what do we mean by the word manufacture. Production of goods in large quantities after the processing of raw materials to more valuable products, we call that as a manufacturing. Manufacturing industries not only help in modernizing the agriculture, but it also forms the backbone of our economy. They also reduce the heavy dependence of the people on agricultural income. Industrial development is a precondition for eradication. Eradication means removing the unemployment and poverty from our country, children. It also aims at bringing down the regional disparities, means between the urban and the rural. The wild disparities are there. It brings down them by establishing the industries in the tribal and backward areas. Exports of manufactured goods expands trade and commerce and brings in much needed foreign exchange. Countries that transform their raw materials into the wide variety of furnished goods for high value or prosperous. So we see that Sir M. Vishwaeshwaraya's contribution to the development of industries in Karnataka is very remarkable. We also see that believing in the motto of the industrialization or perish. So now let us. He also laid the foundation for many industries in the state. We let us study about the evolution of industries in Karnataka. After the hydroelectric power generation station was started at Shivanasamudra in 1902, many industries producing essential goods and products for daily use came into existence, and also the rice mill, tile factories, beedies and cigarettes, iron and brass foundries were established. Sorry, children. After 1923, many modern manufacturing units like iron and steel, soap factories, cotton and silk mills, paper, cement, paint, sorry, children, paint, sugar, sandal oil, and industries were started. In the pre-independence era, pre-independence means before independence itself, the Mysuru province was a model state with respect to industries. The main reason for this was the interest of the British and the Mysuru kings to look into this matter. After the independence, the industrial policy of the central government enabled further industrial development in the state. As a result, many factories were established. For instance, manufacture of the aeroplanes, engineering machine tools like the HMT, BEL, BHEL, watches, iron and steel, aluminum, information technology, electronic biotechnology industries. Like this, there were many factories which were established after we got the independence. Now let us move on to the iron and steel industry. Iron and steel industry in India is on an upswing because of the strong global and domestic demand. India's rapid economic growth and soaring demand by sectors like infrastructure, real estate, and automobiles at home and abroad, and has put the Indian steel industry on the global map. According to the latest report by the International Iron and Steel Institute, India India is the fourth largest steel producer in the world. Now let us move on to the history of the iron and steel industry in India before we see in our state. Iron and steel industry in the country has experienced a sustainable growth since the independence of the country. A humble beginning of the modern steel industry was reached in India in Kulti in West Bengal in the year 1870. 1870 means when the British were ruling our country. But the outset of the bigger production became noticeable with the establishment of steel plant. It started plant in Jamshedpur in Bihar in 1907. It started the production in 1912. The new township was named after the Jamshedji Tata. It is, however, only after the independence that the steel industry was able to find a strong foothold in the country. Excluding the Jamshedpur plant of the Tatas, all are the public sectors and looked after by the Steel Authority of India Limited. Iron and steel industry, when we tell children, this is the basis of all the industries. Karnataka state is a pioneer in establishing the first iron and steel industry in South India. So, and were in South India to establish the iron and steel factory. Sir M. Vishwaeshwaraya's foresight enabled an iron and steel industry to set up at Bhadravati in Shumaga district in 1923. The rich and the abundant iron ore deposits which were there in Baba Budangiri Hills could be utilized. This factory was named as Mysuru Iron and Steel Limited MSIL. Later on, it was handed over to the Steel Authority of India Limited SAIL in 1989. Today, it is known as the Vishwaeshwaraya Iron and Steel Industries. The iron ore necessary is necessary for this factory is supplied from Kemmanagundi, lime from uh, Bandigudda, water from Bhadra river and manganese from Sandur. In the starting, the fire they used the fire wood used for the blast furnace. After the Sharavati hydropower generation station was established, hydroelectricity began to be used. Now, a special variety of steel and pig iron are produced. Another important iron and steel industry of Karnataka is the private sector owned Jindal Vijayanagar Steel Plant, which is in Bellary, near Bellary. It was established in 2001 at Thorangal in Bellary district using the latest Korak technology, and this produces the iron and steel. See, this is the Vishwaeshwara Iron and Steel, which was founded by Sir M. Vishwaeshwara in 1923. So this has achieved the distinction of being the first alloy steel plant in India. VISL steel synonym for the quality steel. Now we will move on to the next industry, that is the cotton industry. Cotton textile industry, children, it is one of the modern industries established very early in the state. This cotton, it is an agro based industry. We see that the weaving of clothes on handlooms was in practice in Karnataka from the ancient time. Cloth is produced from synthetic yarn and foreign cotton textile. Synthetic yarn and foreign cotton textiles are available. Indian cotton textile there is a great demand for the Indian cotton textile, children. The modern cotton mills were established towards the end of the 19th century. So we see that it is a raw material. It is grown in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, and even in Karnataka. In 2002, India produced 5.5 billion bales of cotton, and during 2010, 8.7. This shows that there is an increase in the production of cotton. So, India is the 15th largest economy in the world with a GDP of USD 3.319 trillion and a GDP per capita USD 2,900. It is the second largest population right behind China with around 1.16 billion people. When we move on to the history, the CCI was established on 31st July 1970 as a government company registered under the Companies Act of 1956. In the initial period of setting up as an agency in public sector, corporation was charged with responsibility of equitable distribution of cotton among the different constituency of the industry and to serve the vehicle for the canalization of imports of cotton. And we see that the modern cotton mills are established towards the end of 19th century. We find that the cottons, the map of Karnataka, we see that the uh, we, we, we see that the ginning and spinning mills were set up in the northern districts. This is the northern districts. They were ginning, Raichur, Bidar, here we are having Bellary, Chitradurga, all this period. So, we are having the spinning mills, the ginning and spinning mills. This is the ginning mill and this is the spinning mill what we are having were set up in the northern districts. The first MSK cotton mill was set up in 1884 at Kalaburgi. You can find it is Gulbarga here, now we call it as a Kalaburgi. So later the cotton textile factories were also started in Hubballi. was also started in Hubballi, and later on we also see that after 1900 big cotton textile mills were established, among them the Binni mills and the Minerva mills of Bengaluru, and KR mill of Mysuru, and the the cotton mill of the Davangere were established before independence itself. After the independence, the cotton mills were set up in the northern Maidan. Northern Maidan is this one, northern Maidan, and the cotton was widely grown. Davangere became the state's most important cotton textile industrial center. It is called, the Davangere is called as the Manchester of Karnataka, where there are ginning and spinning mills in Hubballi. Then we are having the Ilkal, uh, Guledugudda, Rabakavi, Bagalkot, Molkalmuru, Gadak, Betgiri, Badami, Belgavi, Nargund, Gokak, Bellari, Hunsur, Nanjangud, Paraipatna, and Chamrajnagar. Now, at present, we are having 44 cotton mills in the state, and 5.1 million meters, approximately, children, of cotton cloth is produced annually. Some cotton mills have been closed down more recently. The reason for this are shortage of cotton and obsolete machines, lack of electricity supply, and increasing cost the increasing of the production cost is also there. Then uh, also the stiff there is a very stiff competition among the synthetic fiber cloth. Between the cotton and the synthetic, there is a very tough competition. So in order to improve the situation in the textile industries in Karnataka, the state government has formulated a program known as the Suvarna Textile Policy in 2008-13, and this has established the finished goods park in 11 districts. The purpose of this program is to export the goods from these industries to foreign countries. So, Karnataka takes the second place in the country with regard to the export of textiles. Such parks are in Dodballapur, Anekal, Belagavi, Mysuru, and Ramanagara. So, in the next class, we will be moving on to the sugar industry. We will move on to the sugar industry, paper industry, cement industry, and information technology industries. So, with this, I finish the chapter, children. In the next class, we will continue. You should read the textbook, watch the video, then read the textbook and make the points in your social science long notebook while reading, and send it in social science group. Thank you, children.